Hello, hello! Welcome to the Jason Elliott Show, everybody! Yes. Well, it is Thursday night. We're a little bit behind tonight, but not really behind. We're just on schedule. We had to push back to 7:30 because our guest is so special and so booked. We had to accommodate just a little bit. But I'm super excited to have you here. I'm excited to have him here. Can't wait for a good night. Marcus Sager gets the award for the first person tuned in tonight, with Ebony St. James right behind, and Sandra and Wanda and Leanne all tying for third. That's a good one. I like it, I like it, I like it. I also like to ask you these questions every single week before we really get going. You never answer them, but I always ask them anyway. Who are you? Where are you watching from? What's the weather like? How's your mama doing? And what are you doing to be 51%? Like I said, you never answer, but I always try. One day you'll catch on. So I'm really, really excited for tonight's guest. I'm not going to give too much away, but he's an amazing singer, an amazing songwriter. He's from Nashville, Tennessee, and that's about all I'm going to say right now, except if you're good, maybe he'll play us some music. Hi, Susan. All right, Susan said, I'm Susan, I'm from Florida, and too cold down here. I don't want to hear about being cold. I think it's a little colder up here in Virginia than it is in Florida, but I understand all of you are probably dying right now. Somebody in Florida said they had snow on the ground. That was interesting for you all. Hi, Rhonda. Rhonda said it's cold here in Chesapeake, too. I understand that. It's really cold here. Daniel Bauer. Hey Daniel, how are you? I hope you're doing well. And Josh says, what's up Jason? Very cold in Norfolk. Hey Josh, it's been quite some time. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Make sure you bundle up and stay warm. Yes. Hey Ron, thanks for tuning in tonight. Hello, hello. We're just kind of hanging out, we're talking. We got a little bit of time before Brody gets online, but once he gets here, we're going to have a real good time together, so I can't wait. Look at that, all the families tuning in tonight. This is wonderful. And while we're waiting and talking about the weather and all that good stuff, do me a favor, if you'd be so kind. Down on the bottom left-hand side of your screen, you'll see a little box that says share. If you just click that, all of your friends will get to join in on the Jason Elliott Show too. So if you see everybody saying, hey auntie, hey friend, hey all this, that could be you too, as long as you just hit that little share button for me. I'd appreciate it. All right, let's see. Brent is tuning in too. Hi, Brent. How are you? Thanks for being here. And we're just going to keep on talking. I haven't gotten my drink yet, so I should probably go do that. I'm going to need it, I think. It's been that kind of a week. All right, keep on telling me who you are. Keep on telling me what you're about and what you love in life. I think tonight's a bingo kind of night, so that's what we're going to do. Oh yes, oh yes. Hey Frank, hello, hello. Thanks for being here. Love it, love it, love it. Well, the end of the song usually means the beginning of the show, but we're still waiting for our superstar to get online. So I just want to know more about y'all and what you were doing. And while you tell me all this stuff, I'm gonna pull the comments up here because I'm getting old, everybody. I can't read those comments. Let's see, Bambi. Oh, Bambi's super excited. Brody. Yes, look, everybody's coming in here. Everybody loves Brody. Brody is a fantastic guy. And I'll tell you more about him and how I know him in just a little bit as soon as he gets on. Let's see, Robbie says, hey Jason, it's freezing here in Cincinnati. My mom is well, and I'm leaving work 2 hours early tomorrow to be 51%. Oh, look at that. You just answered every single question in one sentence. You get some kind of award. If I had shirts for the Jason Elliott Show, I'd mail you one. Which actually, thanks Ebony for sharing, and thanks Rhonda for sharing. And I'm curious, while we're waiting for Brody to come in, I'm curious if anybody had ever thought about maybe sporting some Jason Elliott attire, because that's definitely on the horizon in 2018, but I'm curious what kind of things you'd want. So if you could have one article of clothing or one thing from the Jason Elliott Show, what would you most like? Shirts, wristbands, socks, cups? Tell me what you'd like, because we can totally make it happen. And we might actually make it happen too. Yes. Alright, let me see here. Alright, let's see. Oh, alright, so Daniel started out really quick right there. Daniel wants Elliott undies, which actually kind of have a nice little ring to it. Elliott underoos. I could kind of go with that. Sharon Snap is voting for shirts or jackets. Let's see. Laurel. Hi, Laurel. Thanks for being here tonight. Says, I would wear it in a heartbeat. I vote for a shirt or a wristband. Chris loves the idea of wristbands. Hi, Chris, by the way. Hi, Chad. Chad Porter's watching, all the way from Richmond. We're talking about what kind of things you'd like to see given away on the Jason Elliott Show, or in support of the Jason Elliott Show. Let's change that real quick. Let's see. Rhonda says she loves socks. She also says hoodies, shirts. Basically, it looks like Rhonda wants anything and everything with the Jason Elliott Show on it, which is cool with me, because I will slap the Jason Elliott Show on just about anything, really. Let's see here. Chris says, how are you doing? Well, Chris, I'm doing well. Staying very busy in the day job, and also picking up some gigs traveling around speaking, so I'm really excited about that. And typically I wait just a little bit to tell you about what's going on, but I can tell you that in February I'm actually going to another college to talk to their honor society. I'm really, really excited about that. So that's coming up in February. I cannot wait. And January is packed full with a lot of work stuff. So I've got a couple of different trainings I've got to go to and things like that. So that's what we're going to be working on in January. In February, I'll be performing in Charlottesville, as well as up at Freddy's, of course. And then from there, who knows? Let's take on over the world. Hey, Mr. McCarter, Stuart McCarter's tuning in. Hi, good to see you. Blast from the past for sure. And Sam Perkins is here. And my Rossi. Hola, Rossi, I need to send you a video that we took the other night. All right. Let's see. Chad says he likes the wristband idea. Fantastic. That's easy enough to do. And just to kind of, since y'all are actually giving me some feedback, how would you like to receive them? Because I thought about everybody who like shares the video can be entered into a drawing, or everybody that like comments will be entered. Or, you know, you could even just like buy it outright if you really, really want that. And, alright, Brody actually just sent me a message for everybody asking where he's at. Brody is, he said, on the way home, so he's going to be there shortly. So, we'll have the superstar in no time flat. Alright, let's see. Laurel says all of the above. She wants anything and everything, any way that I can get it to her, which we could totally do that. Let's see. Derek. Hi, Derek. Good to see you. Thanks for being here tonight. Appreciate it. Hope everything's going well for you. And my Aunt Phyllis is here. The new great-grandma of the family. Gonna throw that out there. And the grandma of the family, Rhonda, says go to Vegas with me in March. Tell you what, send me some dates. I can't make any promises, but it'll at least be nice to dream and fantasize about it. Let's see, what else do we have coming up on the Jason Elliott Show? I'm actually very, very excited to be getting a lot of people interested in coming on the show. So I've been talking with some people here who say, like, I really want to be on the show, but I need some help. You know, getting everything kind of organized as to what we're going to talk about. I'm excited. Sorry, I got distracted. I see a bunch of comments coming in, and I was trying to read them as I talked. But a lot of people say, I want to be on the show, but I'm not exactly sure what we're going to talk about. So we've been working on a couple of show topics for people. But Jody, who is watching tonight, wants to be on the show and said, my life is just so crazy and I've come through so much. I'm not exactly sure how to tell my story, but I think it'd be awesome. Nobody would believe it, or if they kind of did, they'd think that I was just crazy. And I said, that's what we love. That's what we really like, because that's real life. So Jody's going to be on the show at some point in 2018. I'm really excited to be working with a couple of authors who also want to be on the show. And so we're going to be talking about some reading and some books and some writing and things like that in the coming year. Next month in February, we're talking all about love. So next month we're talking all about love, and I'm really excited. The first week we're actually going to have somebody talking about his journey with self-love. And he loved himself enough to overcome some very, very steep obstacles in his life and basically found himself starting all over again. So Michael Wooten is going to be coming in, also across state lines, but he's going to be tuning in, and I cannot wait. It's going to be great. And then, oh my gosh, we've got so many great things. I don't want to spoil all of it. But everything from farmers to writers to drug addicts and musicians, we've got it all in 2018. So I'm really excited. But I also want to know what you want to see on the show, who you want to see on the show. I asked a few days ago, would you rather see Ellen on my show or me on Ellen's show? And I think it was really split down the middle between all the social media platforms. I think it was really split down the middle, but maybe a hair more towards seeing Ellen on my show. So maybe one day Ellen will be on my show, and if you know a way to make that happen, let me know. If not, I'll settle for being on hers for now. Alright, let me scroll back up here and see Sharon said, I'm in North Carolina and would love to advertise for you. And I would love for you to advertise for me. And I'll tell you, one of the easiest ways that you can do that doesn't even require a shirt or socks or Elliott underoos or anything. Just click the share button. On the bottom of the screen that you're watching, you'll see a button that says share. All you have to do is click that. And what it does is it shares my video on your timeline. That way, all of your friends and your family can see that you're watching me, and they can tune in and they can learn something, or maybe they'll be on the show. One of my favorite guests last year was actually family of someone who watches my show, and I had never met her before, but she had watched the show through him and then came on the show and told her story, and it was very moving for me and very emotional, her story and her journey. So yeah, the easiest way that you all, including you, Sharon, in North Carolina, can advertise is just click that share button. Super easy, cost effective, immediate return. I love it. So please do that. You can also see when you are watching this, you'll see that there's a button for some of you that'll pop up that says, always get notified when Jason goes live, so you never miss a thing. That's all you got to do is click that, and what it'll do is it'll notify you every time I go live. So if you see that, make sure that pops up there for you too. All right, let's see. Daniel says, are you home? Because that chair is banging. Yes, this is my living room. So far, every episode of the Jason Elliott Show, except for one or two, have occurred in this room or over there in my kitchen. And this is one of my favorite chairs that I have ever seen in my life. And I'm very, very sad because it is well worn, and there are spots of it where the leather is starting to crack and to peel. But it is my favorite. I've had this thing for probably like 12. Yeah, probably about 12 years now. 10 or 12 years. So it's definitely been around. It's seen a lot. And I absolutely love this chair. I call it my throne because I love it. Let me see here. Josh says, everyone look really close. You can see the broadcast on the tablet. It's the Jason Elliott Show on the Jason Elliott Show. Yes, it is. Right here, you can see this is the Jason Elliott Show on the Jason Elliott Show. And as soon as this catches up, there's a slight delay. You're going to see the Jason Elliott Show on the Jason Elliott Show on the Jason Elliott Show. And now, in just a second, you're going to see the Jason Elliott Show on 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 the Jason Elliott Show. There's your inception moment for the night. And I pull this up simply because sometimes on the live feed I can't see all the comments, and sometimes the comments won't come through until after the show, particularly if you're not friends with me on Facebook. So be sure that you click follow on my profile, that way you can see it too. Alright, Jacobs is going back and saying the Elliott, or the Ellen on the Jason Elliott Show. That's what he wants to see. But that's alright, I'll take one or both. I don't think we should have to pick one. Ben is here. Hi Ben Fulcher. Make sure you follow him on his awesome YouTube channels, because yours truly was featured on one of his videos talking about HIV and sexual health. So if you find his name, you can click it and you can see all these great videos about everything. Angie Paris is here. Hi Angie. Good to see you. Well, to see your name pop up here. I hope you're doing all right. Make sure that people leave you alone and stay out of your business. Yes, I saw your post right before going live. Let's see, Brian. Hi, Brian. Thank you for being here tonight. I appreciate it. Michael is here, and of course, my youngest brother, Josh, is here. And, yeah, we're hanging out. We're just having a good time. Waiting for Brody to get on home so he can come on here and tell us all about being an amazing musician. While we're waiting, if you have another mobile device, don't get off the Jason Elliott Show to see it. But you can actually click a link that I shared on my page, and you can hear him sing, and it's amazing. Let's see. So, yeah, that's a good idea. So my aunt says maybe you can do a follow-up show on the meaning behind 51% for the ones that may be new to the show. Absolutely, and that's actually in one of my upcoming plans, is to do a follow-up on 51. So a lot of people hear me say, well, what you doing this week to be 51%? And they're like, what are you talking about? I don't understand, I don't follow. And that's okay, because we talk about things on Jason Elliott Show, and we build and we build and we build, but the cool thing is you can always go back and watch it later. But I figured we would talk about that again. So Aunt Sandra, I really like that idea, and great minds really must think alike, or either just our minds must think alike. Hi, Matt. Matt is tuning in from not Charlottesville. Thank you for being here, Matt. And Christopher Payton says, my girlfriend says to tell you that you're gorgeous. Well, I really appreciate that. Tell your gorgeous girlfriend that I appreciate it. And it really does put a smile on my face. And probably I'm going to start blushing in a minute. So I'm going to move to the next comment here, which is from Sharon, who wants to know who's the lady in the frame behind you. So you'll see over here, I've got my granny's mom, and over here, it's a little hard to see because of the angle, but that's my granny's dad. So I've got my great-grandparents back here, and then right here, you can't really see it, but I have another picture of my great-granny there, along with my siblings and also my wonderful partner. So they're in those frames, but these right here, I actually got when my grandparents passed away. And the only thing that I wanted out of everything that was in their scary big house, one was a chair that belonged to my granny, and I used to sit in it all the time when I would visit her, and she would sit in it all the time, and that was known for years and years and years and years that that was going to be mine. And my granny would always say, that chair goes to Jason. Funny story behind it, which I'll share with you another time. But yes, I did get that, and the only other thing that I wanted, I saw this picture just kind of, you know, tucked away, wrapped up, and I said, you know, that's like the dad to my granny, and I was so close with my granny that I really just felt a connection to this photo, because without this man, I wouldn't have had my granny. And also his name was Heaton, and I've always loved that name and wanted to kind of pass that down. So I ended up taking this picture back home, and when I got home and went to go clean it, I took the back off, and lo and behold, his wife was tucked behind him, and that frame. So I found another frame that I could put her in, and now I have the set of my great-grandparents, and these will forever stay in the family because they're just super, super important. So there you go, Sharon. That's the story about who's the lady behind me, who's the man behind me, how do we get them. That's the Cliff Notes version. And one day we'll talk some more at length about that. Hi, Joshua. Thanks for being here. And good old Jeff. Hi, thanks for being here. Jeff also, I'm going to convince to be on the Jason Elliott Show in 2018. He does wonderful branding endeavors, and he's so good at it that, for example, one of his videos that he helped create with someone in it now has over 6 million views, and it's all about the CDC's campaign to end HIV. So after the Jason Elliott Show, when you go on YouTube to look up Brody Ray, then after you're done looking up Brody Ray, then you can go on there and look up CDC's Steamy Chat, and you'll get to see me with my hair much shorter and getting in a shower, out of a shower, whatever. Hey Noelle, thanks for being here. And Jeanette says, hello Jason. Hello, it's good to see you, Mrs. Battenfield. Feld. Gosh, I do that every time. Sorry. All right, let's see. Joshua says, you're just wonderful, sweetness. Oh, that's really sweet. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm really just me, and right now I'm just stalling until Brody gets here. And my younger brother says he doesn't remember ever seeing these photos. That's because they're in my house and not yours. Hey, Zine's here, and Brennan, and Ryan, and Josh, and Carrie Blake, a legend in the entertainment industry around Richmond and beyond. And Josh, Ryan, Brennan, everybody's coming in here. Everybody's great. It's wonderful. Somebody asked me a question. Ask me anything you want, and we'll talk about that while we wait for Brody to come on. Hi, Libby. Thanks for being here. We've been talking about maybe some traveling in the future to take the Jason Elliott Show on the road. So let's follow up on that sometime. I'm ready when you are. Let's see, my Aunt Sandra says, how does Marcus like his new position? For anybody who doesn't know, Marcus, who is my partner, switched over his shifts, so now he's at a different station, and from what I am aware of, he does enjoy it, and he likes it. If he doesn't, he's watching the show, and he can comment and tell you that he doesn't. But I'm pretty sure he likes it. Hi, Nicole. Thanks for being here. Oh, my good old brother from the West Coast. Hi, Desmond. Good to see you. I appreciate you tuning in tonight. I'll also let you know this is not good. It's a mango, like a sparkling mango, and it's nasty. Alright, let's see. Desmond says, how much do you love Braylon Valentino? I don't know. That sounds like a setup to a trick question. So I will say that I love Desmond Anderson Himes a little bit more than I love Braylon Valentino. But if you have something specific that you'd like to talk about, feel free to comment or send me a text and we'll talk about it. David says, what's on your bracelet? So I'm so glad you asked. That's wonderful. I'm going to pull it off so you can see it a little bit more. It's called Speak Out. It's the Speak Out HIV campaign through Greater Than AIDS. So if you use the hashtag Speak Out HIV, what you'll find is hundreds and thousands of posts all across every platform of social media where people are talking about their feelings or experiences with HIV and sexual health. Basically, what this is a conversation starter, so we can talk about things like HIV, sexual health, testing, disclosure, medication, PrEP, all of that. So that's what's on this bracelet, and I was actually very fortunate to be selected for one of the 25 individuals who started this campaign. They selected 25 from across the country. We got together a few years ago, learned how to tell our stories, learned how to, kind of push this agenda of being healthy and being accepting and just kind of sharing our journey with other people. And then here we are. So I wear this every single day. It never comes off. unless like I'm at a doctor's and I have to take it off, or I'm performing and something can't fit over it or something like that. But even when I'm performing, a lot of times I keep it on because I feel like every day and any day is the perfect day to talk about being healthy and to share our stories with each other. And actually the foundation of Speak Out kind of helped me do the Jason Elliott Show because I can talk to people about sex and I can talk to people about HIV, and it's all about like sharing your own story and interactions. So if we can do that about sexual health, why can't we do that about life in general? And that's kind of how the Jason Elliott Show came about. So we're here, we share each other's stories, and we support each other and encourage each other to be successful and to be passionate and to be loving. And that's kind of how we got to where we are now. Let's see, Valentino is here. Hello, thanks for being here. And Andrew, hey stranger, it's been quite some time. Thanks for tuning in. And Melissa, a wonderful comedian whom I've had the pleasure to meet and work with down in Southwest Virginia. She travels all over the country making people laugh out of their chairs. And perhaps maybe one day, Melissa, you'd like to come on the Jason Elliott Show because you also have an awesome journey that you've been on. So we could talk about that. Hello, let's see. Wait, I'm sorry, Desmond just commented. Who inspires you in your everyday life? So this is a question everybody likes to ask, and I always have the same answer. My mom inspires me every single day. So she has come through a lot in her own life, and she really taught me everything that it is to be strong but still have a tender touch. To always wear a smile but understand what it is to cry, who understands and knows fear intimately but doesn't let that stop you from understanding joy and success. She has taught me all of those things and more, and I always say because of the woman that she is, I'm the man that I am now. And so every single day, whether it just be her little text message that says I'm thinking about you, or sharing stories about when she was younger, or encouraging me or challenging me or things like that. My mom really is just the biggest inspiration in my life every single day. And I always say too, when I came out, it was kind of difficult for a lot of people in my family, my mom included. But unlike some people in my family who turned their back or who walked away because they didn't know anything about it and they had a snap judgment, my mom sat down and said, I want to learn about this and I want to know what's going on in your life and how you see the world so that I can better support you. And that is true love in its truest form. And my mom, was one of the first people to demonstrate that to me and for me, growing up as a kid, up through my teenage years, and even now as an aging adult. So I'm really blessed to have her in my life. Hi, Ashley. And Jason, who has the best name of anybody here right now. Thanks for being here. We're just hanging out, talking about whatever you'd like to talk about. Sorry, I thought that was Brody trying to come in, but maybe not. We're just hanging out, talking about whatever you want to talk about while we wait for Brody to get over. Brody Ray is a singer-songwriter out of Nashville, Tennessee, and he's on the way home now from being a hard-working individual, making his dreams come true, to share his story and maybe a song or two with us. So we're just hanging out together, talking about life, answering any questions. Nobody's wanted to talk about my blazer at all, which is fine too. But we're just having a good time and enjoying each other's company while we wait for Brody to get home, tune up his guitar, and get ready to talk about life. So, that's that. Hi Lauren, thanks for being here. And also Luann. Luann's here now too. Good to see you. It's a quiet night. Hi Sydney. Sydney Webb is here. An amazing young lady. I appreciate knowing her and having her in my life. Hi Debbie. Debbie is also tuning in. Appreciate you being here. And all the way from good old California, the state with a bear on the flag. Katie Martin, I can't remember what your state's motto is. I was getting ready to say something and it's not it. I know it's not. But thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Um, let's see. Sharon says, where are you from and where were you born? I was born and raised in Chesapeake, Virginia, which is right outside of Virginia Beach, Virginia. So that entire area known as Hampton Roads, or the 757, the Tidewater region, that's where I was born and raised. So I'm a lifelong Virginia resident with a couple of stints of a couple of months in different places, namely international. But yeah, that's where I was born and raised, Sharon. Virginia through and through. I have always lived here, and I can't say I always will, but this will always be home for sure. So I live in Charlottesville, Virginia now, and actually I moved here in 2010. So this year will be 8 years that I have lived here in Charlottesville, which is crazy to think about. Yeah, this is a good place to have roots to, and I really enjoy it. With all the traveling that I do to go speak and entertain, it's very nice to live right on the interstate. We have an airport. We're not far from big cities, but we're not far at all from the mountains. In fact, I drive over one at least once a week for work, and it's very nice. We've got a little bit of peaceful, we got a little bit of this, we got a little bit of that, but it's wonderful. All right, let's see. Debbie says, hey from Harrisonburg, we'll share. Awesome. Debbie's got the right idea. Debbie's sharing it because as soon as Brody gets here, y'all are not going to want to miss what he's got to say. His story is incredible. His talents are amazing, and I'm really excited to have him on the show. So Debbie is going to click share on the bottom of her page, and I hope that you can too. Yes. Let's see. Katie says it's Eureka? All right, well, I was far off. But California, Eureka. Actually, now that I think about it, Katie is here from California, and Desmond is here from California too. So we've got California repping in the house tonight. I appreciate y'all tuning in. It's a little easier because y'all are so many hours behind us here on the East Coast that you're like cooking dinner now, and you're getting ready for all that good stuff. Whereas here on the East Coast, we're probably wrapping up dinner or hoping to sit down as soon as, you know, Brody gets here and we can have some entertainment. But yeah, that's really cool to have so many people from Cali here. Oh, and look at that. David is in Nebraska. We got everybody from everywhere. Do me a favor. Comment with which state you're in right now so I can see all the different states. If you're watching internationally, because we have had a couple people across our international lens, just do a comment below for me so we can see where everybody is. And that'll help us understand, too, how big of an impact we can have. Tracy Gross, the one and only. Thank you for watching tonight, for being here. You're going to love Brody later. He's going to sing us a song. He plays guitar really, really well. He's from Nashville. So if you want to hang around Miss Thing, I think that you would love Brody. And if you don't, that's good. You can always watch a rerun later. Let's see. My Aunt Sandra says, Kevin is with me. We're traveling across Missouri after picking up our new puppy, Pineapple Conroe, named Mango. I don't know if that's a typo or if I just can't read. I'm not sure. But I'm glad that you're getting a new baby. That's cute. Can't wait to see pictures of it. So let's see. We've got Nebraska. We've got California. We've got Virginia. We've got Missouri. Who else is watching from where? Let's see. Somebody. Earlier we had Mexico. Who else do we have? We have a lot of Virginia. There's a Mexico. There's a California. There's a California. There's a Missouri. So we got a little bit of everything. Oh, there we go. Katie says it's a type of bird. Oh, and yeah, there it is. Okay. It's a bird, not a dog. I'm sorry, I thought you got a new puppy. It's a dog. I mean, a bird. Oh gosh, I'm so tired. It's a bird. That's what it is. So, great, another bird. That's fantastic. Congratulations. Can't wait to see pictures of your wonderful bird. Sorry I didn't know what it was. Let's see. Jody is here from Pennsylvania, and Sharon is here from North Carolina, and Katie is laughing at me from California because I didn't know that it was a bird. But look, That's what we do on the Jason Elliott Show. People talk about everything, and somebody is going to learn. Usually, I like it to be all of you at home learning something, but more often than not, I'm not going to lie, I walk away having learned something from every episode of this. Because all of you know so much that I get to learn from you too. Which is great. Because I love learning. I also just happened to realize that Nashville is an hour behind us. So when I said 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, I don't know if Brody understood EST. I think maybe he's going to be coming on in a little bit, because in Nashville, instead of being 8:10, it's 7:10. But I've got the receipts if anybody has any question. Nicholas is watching from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So every time I see Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, my mind thinks that it's a typo of Harrisonburg, Virginia. Because right over the mountain, we've got Harrisonburg, and you all have Harrisburg. And I've actually had, like, even things like medical records in my day job, and other people who were trying to book me for shows. Harrisburg and Harrisonburg oftentimes get mixed up. Oh, Shelby says, I'll let him know you're waiting. I'm good friends with Brody. That's okay. I was actually texting Brody before I got on, and I said, hey, I'm going to go ahead and hop on in a couple of minutes. Just, like, get on, you know, when you get home, no problem. And right at the top of the show, I got a text message that says, okay, I'm heading home. And I didn't really think about the fact that I'm hoping that it made sense, the time difference. And that's always really tricky when we're doing a live feed. But either way, I'm just excited to have Brody on the show tonight. So it's gonna be a good time, regardless of whether it's 7:30 here, 8:30 here, 4:30 for some of y'all watching. It's a good time. Oh, look at that. Sydney, one of my favorite nieces. I have like 3, 4, 5 favorite nieces, you know. But Sydney is here. Hello, hello. And Katie says she's not laughing at me because I'm stupid and don't know my birds. She's laughing at me just because I'm funny. I try my best to be funny. That's a lie. I actually just am me, and sometimes this shows through. Shelby says he's a great guy. Brody really is a great guy. He's fantastic, and I'm glad that you're here and supporting him too. Because if you think he's a great guy, you must be a great gal yourself. Alrighty, so Mrs. Banfield says, tell us about your blazer. Okay, I'll tell you about my blazer. So I decided, last year on the show, I just kind of always wore whatever. And even though I don't have like a beautiful set, and I don't have this whole crazy setup and all of that good stuff, I decided that 2018 is going to be the year of blazers, because if there's anything that I am known for more than my socks and my hair, it's probably my blazers. I love to wear blazers. I typically wear a 38 regular unless it's tailored in or a different cut, then it's a 40 regular, but most of the time a 38 regular to a 38 long, depending again on the cut, is what I wear. So if you have to ever get me anything, a blazer is fine with me. No, I always got to put that out there. Maybe there's somebody sitting on a gold mine of like rhinestone jackets, or maybe like Elton John is, you know, like outgrown some of his 38s and he wants to give them to somebody. But yeah, so I love to wear blazers, and it's like fun for me. So I figured the shows throughout 2018, I'm gonna wear blazers. I'll probably run out of them because I don't have, actually that's a lie, I might have enough blazers to never repeat this year, but we'll see about that. But I love blazers, and so why am I wearing a blazer tonight? Because I decided this year I'm going to wear a blazer for the show. That's just what I wanted to do. This one is a really fun one that I have. It's a little bit snug if I try to button it if I'm sitting down. But it's basically this snake print. So it looks like leather. It's not, so it is animal friendly. It's just fake. It's completely man-made materials, but it looks like snakeskin, and I really like it. It's a beautiful monochromatic jacket in grayscale, so not really monochromatic, just grayscale. Finished in a black lapel around the top and a snakeskin fake knockoff everything else. It's really great. So I've had it for a little while. Don't usually wear it during the daytime or to work because sometimes it's just a little bit much. But I really like it. I love wearing blazers any chance that I get. So that's this one. I actually bought this off of somebody who had no more use for it, and it was a really good deal. He's a great entertainer down in Florida. His name is Judas Elliott, and that's who I purchased this off of. No relation. Everyone thinks we are, but we're not. But yeah, he had great taste in blazers, and I took him up on it. But I love blazers. I love clothes. I love fashion. And I have a little bit of everything because my tastes change so often. And you know, my style is different depending on whether I'm working or going out with friends, or whether I'm going out with friends in the night or the day, or friends for drinking or eating. So it all just changes all over the place. So I have more clothes than I ever care to admit. Yeah, if you ever, well, one day I'll show you my closet. How about that? That'll be an episode of the Jason Elliott Show. Somebody asked me to do a tour of my house because all they ever see is this. They said, will you do a show where you tour your house? I'll do that at some point this year. I don't know when, but I promise I'll do that at some point. And when we do that, I'll show you my closet. Let's see. It also reminds me of Bon Jovi. Yes, I'm old. You're not old. You just have good taste. It reminded me of Bon Jovi too, which is one of the reasons that I got it. And actually, last summer, I wore it to an event, Charlottesville Ladies Arm Wrestling, and wore some cool like pink specs with it as well, and really felt like my modern day twist on Bon Jovi. So no, you're not old. You've just got great classic taste. That's all it is. All right. What else, people? What else do you want to know? What other questions do you have for the Jason Elliott Show? I'm waiting. I keep looking, hoping somebody's got something to say. Typically by this time we're wrapping up the show, so I can already feel like my voice is getting tired, and I'm trying to save just a little bit for when Brody gets here, so I can actually hear him or ask him questions. What do you want to see? I'm going to keep asking this. What do you want to see this year on the show? If you could envision one thing for the Jason Elliott Show, whether it be a guest, a topic, a location, something. What's your vision for the Jason Elliott Show this year? That's what I want to know. Because it's still early, I can plan you in. I've got my own vision, but I figured, hey, if y'all are the ones watching every week, you might as well throw in here too. Sophie from right here in Charlottesville, thanks for tuning in, joining us. Tuning, that's what you do when you tune and join. I just made up a new word. And Ray, hi Ray, thanks for being here, appreciate it. Let's see here. What are we talking about? Shelby, are you still with us? I think it was Shelby, right? Well, that's weird. Oh yeah, it is. There you go. Hey Shelby, just saying hello. We'll talk to you for a little bit. If you're good friends with Brody, how do you know Brody? And where do you live at? And what do you do? You're gonna have an impromptu session on the Jason Elliott Show. Because you're somebody who's actually interacting who I don't actually know you. So we'd all like to get to know you just a little bit more. And while we're waiting for Shelby, Stephanie Michaels has joined us. Hi Stephanie, another fantastic entertainer. She travels all over the country, dazzling boys and girls and everyone in between with her entertainment and her beauty. Sometimes her humor. I can't wait to wash my hair. Alright, Katie says, how about Cocktail Hour with Jason where you show us how to make one of your favorites? Or it could be a recipe or something like that. I'm so glad you asked about that because the last show of every month, that's exactly what we do. So the last show of every month, we're right over there in the kitchen and usually I'm baking cookies or something like that. And then I bake them and take them into work the next day. So everybody's always excited for the last show of the month. But yeah, the last show of every month, we either make a cocktail, we bake a cookie, or do some sort of dessert. Next week, I'm actually going to change it up just a little bit and show you how to reuse some wine glasses because somebody saw something I had in my house and was like, oh my gosh, I would totally buy that. And I'm like, what, really? And they said, yes. So I said, well, how about if we do that on the show then? So next week, I'm going to show you a cool thing to do with your wine glasses once you're tired of looking at them. So maybe a couple of things. So old DIY projects with wine glasses is next week. But during those weeks, I just go through and like bake and it's anything goes. So the other shows of the month, I interview somebody else or I share my own thoughts on an issue. But the last show of every month, you get to ask me anything that you want. Any question that you have, any advice that you want, any story you want to hear, it's all there for you on the last show of the month. So make sure you don't miss any of those final shows of the month because you learn how to cook something and you get to ask me all these questions. And I tell you, some of the questions that I've gotten in the past are crazy. And I have a rule that I have to answer everything. So that could be kind of fun. And speaking of fun, guess who is coming in now? So I just see that Brody tuned in. So I'm just waiting to make sure that it's solid. So Brody, when you're ready to come on into the show, just send me a little comment if you don't mind to say I'm here and I'm ready. And then I'll add you to it if you can't do that yourself. Oh, I'm so excited. All right. I'm on pins and needles. While we're waiting, Brandon is also watching. Hi. I tell you what, we're going to be a little proactive here. I'm going to slide up. Brody is requesting and will be here in just a second. So let me tell you just a little bit about Brody while we're adding him in. Brody and I met a few years back when he was one of the entertainers for Pride here in, well, not here in Roanoke, but in Roanoke, Virginia. He was performing, and we actually got the opportunity to talk a little bit and hang out. And I knew as soon as I heard him play that he was somebody I wanted to stay in touch with because his talents were through the roof. He was absolutely amazing. He is a singer and a songwriter out of Nashville, Tennessee, currently, originally hailing from Nebraska. And he's dabbled in just about everything. Sorry, Brody. It's trying to add you. Oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. Hold on. No answer. So, Brody, if you could make sure that your phone is turned sideways for me, then I'm going to add you on right now. And all you have to do is just make sure that your phone is turned like long ways, left and right, landscape. And you should be able to get on pretty quickly. Oh, I hear it, I hear it.
Are we there?
There he is.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing great. Thanks for being here tonight.
I'm going to try to adjust this for a second. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Totally.
Sometimes there's a little bit of a delay, so we'll work on that just a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, we're super excited. I was actually just bragging on you just a little bit to tell everybody kind of how we met. And, oh, good. See, look, his camera just felt like mine did, so we're a good company.
Look at that. This is just crazy.
That's all right. The craziness makes us enjoy it that much more.
Good. I hope so.
Definitely. So I was just saying how you and I met a few years ago at Roanoke Pride when you were one of the awesome entertainers. And I said, as soon as you went up on stage, I was like, I got to know this guy. And like, I'm going to follow wherever he's going because he's going to make it huge and it's going to be awesome. And you've continually done that. So I'm not going to steal any of your thunder, but ladies and gentlemen, this is Brody. And you've actually already got a lot of people on here. Like Valerie's saying, hey, Brody, and she's sending you like a bunch of hearts.
Oh,
Shelby
Valerie, I see.
Here. Yeah, there's all kinds of people here, and they're super excited to hear from you. So while they're coming in, they may be asking you questions. So if they ask you any questions, feel free just to answer that. And if y'all are watching and you want to ask Brody any questions, just type them in the chat box, and then we'll make sure they're answered. But usually how it goes is basically you just hop on here and we're just hanging out. We're talking for a little bit. And really the show is all about your journey, where you started, what you experienced, and where you are now. I know a little bit about that, but if you want to take it away, you can share with everybody watching what you think is important in your journey and just kind of take us along.
Yeah. Well, you probably all know that I'm transgendered. I'm female to male, and I started my journey to become the man that I always knew I felt I should be. And I was about 21, and I had my surgeries. I went to Belgrade, Serbia 4 times to have my surgery. Does it still sound okay on that end?
Sounds good to me.
Good? Yeah. And so I went to Belgrade 4 times to complete my lower reconstruction surgeries. And then before I did that, I went to Omaha and had my top surgery done. And so it was about like a 4 or 5 year process, but the worst of it's over, and I'm moving on and pursuing my music career full time and to do that. But I moved down here to join a band. They asked me to come down and be their lead singer, and I always felt like I should be here, be in Nashville. So I'm just like, maybe this is my sign that I need to go. This is my time. And so I just picked my stuff up like a couple weeks later, and I left. I lived with the band for a while. It didn't work out music style wise, and it just wasn't working out very good. Didn't get along very good. And it was just it was different. It just wasn't really what I was going for with my music career. So we went our separate ways, and I found my apartment, and ever since then I've just been, networking and playing every writer's round I can, and writing as much as I can every night. And I have about 3-4 different jobs working. I work 2 of them during the week and a couple on the weekend, and just, pay the bills. It's expensive to live here, and but you just got to keep going. You got to get it done. You don't sleep very much, but that's okay. You can sleep when you're dead, right?
That's what they say.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, before I moved down here in 2013, I written and recorded a song, an EP, 5-song EP down here with a buddy of mine and a producer, guitar player, Ben Flanders. And the EP is called Detour. It's got 5 songs on it, and it's online. You can look that up, and I think I took it down from iTunes for a minute, but I'm gonna put it back up tonight. And I just recorded a new song called "Take It Too Far." I just written and recorded that down here in Music Pro, and it's gotten some good reviews so far. It's just the acoustic version. We'll produce the full mixed and mastered version later once we get about 4 more songs done. And I'm working with a producer named Bill. Awesome. He's got great ideas. Hey, Peggy. And we're just kind of trying to plug myself in as many things as possible, you know. And so far, it's going really, really good. And then I had taken a break from auditioning for some TV shows, and I'm like, you know what the heck, let's just do it. So I sent in a video audition for America's Got Talent, and I just got done auditioning for that. They liked it, so they had me come to the live auditions in Nashville here, and I went down and I sang for a group of producers, and they liked it, and they put me on to the executive producers, and I sang for them, and they said they liked it, so they said they're going to email me in February and said, in the meantime, pick out a list of songs that you would like to sing on the show. So I took that as a good possibility that, right. So that's a good sign. I'm not saying I'm 100% positive I'll be on it, but you know, I did a backstory with one of the producers, and she got every detail of my life since I was 3 years old till now, and so I went through that whole process. You know, I don't think I went through that for nothing. So I'm hopeful that we can make it onto that show, you know.
Heck yeah.
And do some cool things on there. And then the next day I got a phone call from a buddy and my friend, a guy that I write with, Jason Hamer. A shout out to him if he's on. But hey, Jason, if you're watching,
I think he was, because I saw that name earlier.
Yeah, he's the awesome songwriter I'm working with right now, and he's living in Nebraska still. I'm trying to get him to come here, but he has a lot of connections, and he hooked me up with his buddy Kent Wells, who, if you guys don't know who Kent Wells is, he plays guitar for Dolly Parton and has recorded like a lot of her music, and he produced it. So I got a phone call from him, and he said, you know what, why don't you just come down to my studio next Monday, and we'll just hang out, get to know each other, see what we can do for you. And I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that's kind of some big news there.
Awesome.
So when it rains, it pours, like the song, you know. There's a lot of good things going on. Yeah.
So all right. So music basics, because I could almost hear some people saying, "What is that?" Can you explain to everybody who doesn't know what an EP is, what an EP is?
Yeah, EP is called, it's a abbreviation for extended play. So it's not quite a full album, which album I think is 8 or 9 and up songs, and then an EP is like I think 2 to 5, and so it's an extended play. So it's not a single, not an album. It's right in the middle. It's EP.
Perfect. So it's more than one, less than a few.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just awesome. A sample. Yeah.
Absolutely. So you were talking about, we'll talk about some of the music stuff first. You were talking about different styles. For anybody who hasn't heard you perform or seen any of your videos yet, how would you classify your musical style? I mean, because people are like, oh, he's in Nashville, so he must do country. And then you come in, like, you know, wearing a fitted, and you're like, I don't know, it doesn't quite look country. So, like, are you somewhere in the middle, or how would you classify that?
Yeah, I think My style right now, I think what I'm going for is might be like a more pop country slash pop alternative with a touch of country. Everything I do is just comes to me naturally. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
stick it into a category. So my EP, the extended play of the Detour, is more alternative pop rock than anything. You won't really feel much country on it. But the stuff I'm doing now is more going to be suited towards the country radio stations and what's on there right now.
Cool. And fairly recently, I know because I was watching, you were in a competition of sorts there in Nashville.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I have been trying to. I mean, obviously, I'm trying to plug myself in where I can and do everything I possibly can to give myself opportunities to play and show off my original music, not just my covers. And so this competition is called Nashville Rising Song. It used to be called Nashville Rising Star, and they changed it this year. So it's the first. It's like the first season of the Rising Song competition, and you just sign up and you hope that you get picked, and you can pay to get picked, and there's some options out there, but it's Nashville, everything's you can pay your way through a lot of stuff, but the problem is when you don't have money, you can't really do that. So
Yep.
So I got up there and I played one of my songs, and I got the crowd, my audience involved, and everybody voted me as the audience winner. I got like about 46 or 40 something % of the voting from all 21 artists, and that's really good. And it pushed me through to the semifinals for that competition, which is March 19th, and I think it starts at 8 p.m. But there will be, I think, 21 or 24 artists that I'll be competing with again. So what I am thinking is that we just all come together, bigger and better, just like the first time, and vote me through to the finale.
Yeah, definitely.
They're gonna do it again. They're gonna take one person who's got voted through by the audience, and then the other three are gonna be voted in through the judges' vote.
Cool.
So we got to win one or the other. So I'm trying to, write as many songs as I can right now.
Yeah.
Get some stuff going, and some good songs, some better songs, and that's where I'm at. But I'm in the finale, or the semifinals. So that's pretty good.
See, it's Freudian slip because you said you're in the finale because we all know you're going to get to the finale. So we're going to get there.
We'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna need everybody to vote for me. We're gonna have to be like teaming up and getting everybody on board, and I mean everybody. I just couldn't believe it. Like everybody really pulled through, and we're getting all their friends and family in on it, even if they had no clue who I was. And
yeah,
I got a lot of support back home, so it's great.
Well, and everybody that's watching this now, make sure that you watch on Brody's page because we're gonna all make sure that we help get that vote cast too. So that's what we're doing. Valerie just said yes, Brody all the way. So I say yes all the way with Brody Ray. That's what we're gonna. That's how we're gonna go. You can use that point where you want. Totally. Yeah, no, that's exciting. So when you're writing these songs, where do they come from? What inspires you, or do you just have them kind of tucked away and you just piece them together? How does that work for you? What's that process like?
Yeah, that's a good question. I tend to try to write from real life experiences, but if I'm kind of stuck and thinking, something pops into my head, I'll just go with it and just make crap up, and make it sound good, and make it sound cool. But most of the time, I do try to relate it to something I've experienced in my life, whether it's love, a breakup, somebody playing games with your heart, or drinking too many beers, or just, anything you can think of, or just overcoming a life struggle, empowerment, chasing your dreams. I try to go there first with my experiences, and then I have a bunch of songs, that I've haven't really completed. But I usually try to start with lyrics, and then I build from that. I will kind of take my phrasing and start strumming some chords that sound good, match the vibe of the song. If it's a happy love song, you want the chords to be major and happy and more upbeat. And so I just and Jason helps me a lot with that. He's a great lyricist, and I'm more of I'm pretty good with my like rhythms and my guitar chords, putting that stuff together. So we complement each other well. And I am gonna start working with some other writers down here that have asked to write with me, but I haven't got together with them yet. I think next week I'll start writing with some more people and bringing them into what me and Jason are doing, and we can do all sorts of stuff. It's unlimited. You can bring in as many people on a song as you want, and and you can write one by yourself. Like one night I was sitting on my bed and I was getting ready for bed, and all of a sudden these lyrics popped into my head, and this like rhythm, this like old time country love song thing. And even if I don't cut it myself, I can have that in my repertoire and maybe pitch it to another country artist who sings more of that classic country sound. Who cares? But I'm here to do anything and everything in any style. Like Sam Hunt, I love what he does, and all those guys. Florida Georgia Line, that new stuff is just cool. It's just fun. It's different. But yeah, that song just popped into my head one night, and I think I wrote it in like 5 minutes. And I just wrote it down fast, and it's real commercial, real country. The guy meets the girl in college, they fall in love, they go to parties, they hook up, and then by the end of it, they're getting married. Your traditional country love song. And it just sometimes they come in 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes like 2 weeks to finish one. Just all depends on where your head's at.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just like anything else in life. I always say on here too. Don't ever hold yourself to the same kind of timetable as other people, because we all have our own journey, kind of going in our own time. And I think with songs it's exactly that. Every song is just as unique as every one of us. And so each song is going to have its own growth time and, its own time frames of kind of coming to that completion point. So,
yeah, exactly.
So, speaking of kind of that growing and completion point too, right off the bat, and I honestly wasn't sure if you wanted to talk about that, so I was going to let you bring it up. But I'm really glad that you did, because as we're talking about these songs that are kind of molding and growing and coming into like this stage of where you said, man, this is what this song was supposed to be. You yourself have also gone through a process throughout your life of saying, this is who I'm supposed to be. So that journey, just a little bit, would you mind sharing some of that? Because I think it's freaking amazing.
Yeah. Just, I think the hardest part was like when you're a kid, you really don't know what's going on. Everything just seems so magical, and you're just like, what is life? What is this world? And then as you start to get older, you start to see that everything's got a place and a purpose and a reason and a gender and a color, and it's just like as things start to fall into place. But for me, they didn't fall into the right places, and I was confused and angry and rebellious, and but I also was very strong and confident in who I was, and I tried not to let other people have control over that part of my life and tell me where I should go, what I should do, who I should be, what I should wear. And I was always just like, screw you. I don't care what you think. And I just kept doing my own thing, laughed it off, shrugged the shoulder. And I wasn't too horribly like teased when I was younger. I think mainly because I was so open and confident in who I was that nobody really had anything to hurt me with, because I've already put it out there, like it's already out there. And so it's kind of like, oh yeah, you're preaching to the choir, dude. Like, I know. And so I think people just kind of let me alone, and I was always really kind and cool, and to other people, regardless of how they treated me, but I also, I stood up for myself,
Yeah.
and people, and I was like weightlifter of the year at my high school graduating class, but I wasn't lifting the weights on the women's charts. I was on the guys' charts lifting those weights, and I think that probably helped a little bit. People
Yeah.
just really didn't want to screw with me, but yeah, I played football. I played football in 8th grade, and I just did all the stuff that a normal young guy would do.
Yeah.
And try to hide it as best as I could that I wasn't a dude, because the puberty, that was awful. Like going through puberty, and I started like wrapping my chest, like binding my chest down, so everyone, when they looked at me, they saw a guy, not a girl. Even if they already knew who I was, I just still wanted to portray an image of masculinity. And I wouldn't shave my legs, I mean, I just did what I wanted, and no one really questioned it. They're like, good for you, just do what you want, But that was that generation of kids, and I think college, it was pretty wild. It was really fun. I had a great time in college, but it gets, when people start getting a little more confident into telling you how they really feel, especially living in like a small town like Nebraska and Kearney. I had great support there. I had more support than anything than I could ever have imagined. And every once in a while, you'll run into somebody who's like, I don't get it. Be who God made you to be. Or they're like, those people will never hook up with you, or, just mean comments, or just trying to ruin my night or say something mean.
Right.
And, it's like, they don't get it. It's not their fault that they don't. I mean, it is their fault that they don't, but they're just not educated. And
right. And I think it's really important too. I share this conversation a lot that I had with somebody, and she was somebody that I worked with basically, and I would go and help her in her clinic and do education, and she and I had really developed a relationship together, and finally one day she goes, I just need to be completely honest with you. She goes, I am a black, straight, middle-aged woman. I do not understand what it's like to be gay. I just can't. It's a concept I don't get. I don't understand.
Yeah.
And then you talk about, like bisexuality, and she goes, I don't understand that. Like, I can't understand you. I'm sorry. I just can't. And I looked at her and I said, you don't have to understand me. You can't understand me.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll never understand what it's like to be a straight, middle-aged black woman. And you will never understand what it is to be, a white guy who's like bi or gay or somewhere or this or that. I said, it's not something we can understand because it's not who we are. But what we can do, like you said, is we can support each other and we can learn about each other. And I think that's so important, that while we can't necessarily understand the same things as other people, we can respect that and we can learn as much about it to be supportive.
Yeah.
And I'll be completely honest with you. Like, I'm looking here, and Kimberly and Katie and Valerie, they're all sending mad love right now.
Yes, I see Katie, I see Kimberly, I see them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
And they're also sending mad love to my blazer, which, thank you, I appreciate it. But more importantly, they're sending love to you and kind of this conversation we're having. And I'll be completely honest with you. I know that they love you, but I did watch, you actually had a documentary done on you back in the day. And so I watched that, and it was very clear to me that in there, at least, your mom, for example, seeing her emotions in that particular makeup there. Before you got on, somebody asked me who's the most inspiring person in my day-to-day life, and I said my mom, because she got what it was to not get it, and she knew what it was, not to understand what it was. When I came out, she didn't get it, but she said, I need to learn, I need to do something to support. And I saw that, and obviously I don't know your mom, but I could see aspects of that for sure. So I think it's really awesome that you acknowledge how important that support is. You know, in your personal life, and it trickles over to your professional life. So
Oh,
I'll just give mad shout outs to your support network,
yeah.
mine too.
Yeah, definitely, and it's funny that Kimberly's right there. I was working at I think it was TGI Fridays in Omaha, Nebraska when I started shooting that episode, and Kimberly was my manager at that store, so it's funny. But yeah, she was like right there. She watched it. She watched it on the TVs there at the bar at TGI Fridays when it aired. And
That's so cool.
so,
That's awesome.
yeah,
So,
it's cool.
and somebody was saying like they're so proud of you, and this is why they love you because you're so open. And I just think that's amazing. You know, there are, like you said, there are so many people who try to just kind of hide certain aspects. And I personally have a lot of friends who say, you know, I'm far enough in my transition, for example, I don't ever need to look back, or I don't ever need to bring that up. And so it's a very different take, I think, on life and our journey of life for you to be sitting here and saying, like, the first thing out of your mouth was, I'm sure a lot of you know, and they actually may not know, you know, but I think it's amazing to see that you are so open to talking about it. But I'm curious, especially somewhere like Nashville, and especially something like being a singer-songwriter, you had that support of your family and your friends back home. What is it like in kind of that aspect of your life of being a singer-songwriter and being so open?
Well, you know, what I found is you get back what you put into it, what you put into society, you know, it's going to give it back to you. And so I try to always stay positive and think positively, you know. I understand that if something were to happen with my music and it would go on the radio, or I get lots of exposure to this and that, and people found out, there's going to be people out there, like always, that are not going to agree with it, and they're going to be upset. That's fine. But people are upset about Sam Hunt being on the country radio because they don't think it's country. So everyone's got a reason to be upset about something, but it shouldn't affect how we live our lives and what we do. And, you know, we just got to keep doing it. I mean, most of the time they're just jealous, you know, they're just jealous, or they're angry because they don't get it, or it offends them, or they probably feel the same way and they've been hiding it their whole lives, you know. So I just try not to you can't let it bother you. And I try to stay positive in that sense where, it's a very, it's Nashville, Tennessee, it's the South, and there's going to be people still out here too that don't get it, and they don't really want to get it. And so it makes me, sometimes I wonder, I'm like, will anybody even want to sign me to their label, or will anybody want to take that risk with me? And I stopped thinking about that, and I pushed that to the side, and I just keep pursuing my music the way anybody else would. And if the songs are there and the story lines up good, and I find the right person who doesn't care and would love to work with me, it'll happen the way it's supposed to happen.
Absolutely.
And as long as I'm not afraid to be who I am, I don't think anybody should fear living their dreams and pursuing all the things that they want to do because society tells you won't succeed at it, because they don't know that. They don't know. There's Ty Burden. He's a gay country singer. He's a big success down here, you know. And I know a friend who works with his management team. Like they love the guy, you know. They don't care. And so it's just one of those things where you just got to get over it, and you hope that everybody else does too. And it's just a hurdle. It's a small hurdle in our lives, and sometimes I want to just brush it under the rug and pretend like it didn't happen because I'm past this surgical and physical transformation part. But then I wouldn't be contributing to pushing society in the right direction, and I feel like that's part of the reason why I'm here, you know, on Earth. I feel like this is my time to speak up and speak out and help people get it and change the way people love each other and accept each other.
Yep. And I think probably you said it right. Like the best way to get people to change and to love each other is to just love them first, you know, and to be the example of what it is not to let your fear stop you, and to just to embody everything that you want to see. You know, everybody always says, "Be the change you want to see in the world," and it's so cliche, but it's in its truest form. You know, it's that's what it is. And so I totally think that's awesome. And I will tell you that if no other record label will sign you, then we'll just start our own, and we'll start signing all the misfits of the world that nobody else wants to sign. I always said if everybody's like, oh, like you could model or this, and I'm like, no. I always joked and I said I would start a modeling agency for average people that can't, that no other label would sign. Why not? Let's do it. So you know what? Hey, if nobody's going to sign you, then keep on pushing through, and you can be your first client. You can sign yourself, and then what's going to happen?
Exactly. And you know, and there's tons, like, even now with this huge, like, coming out of the closet, like, epidemic that has started in our world, there are people down here inside the music business that are openly gay, or you name it. And I'm slowly, like, figuring out who they are. Like, Casey Musgrave's producer is openly gay, married with 2 kids, boy and a girl. I mean, it's awesome. You know, there's people out there that are gonna be doing the same thing. And so it's just like coming together and making that happen. And so one way or another, you know, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep getting where I need to get and keep proving myself. Whether I have to work a little harder than everybody else, that's okay. That's what I've always done. I'm used to that. I'm used to having to prove myself to everybody, and I'm gonna keep continuing to prove that I'm no different, and I'm not a freak of nature. I'm not a pervert. I'm not. I'm just another dude that was born in the wrong body, and I fixed it, and I'm just another dude now. It's just so simple, you know. And as a society, we make it so confusing. We try to manipulate and make things what they're not, and so I think it's we're moving in the right direction. Yeah, we're gonna have some fallbacks here and there. Speaking of those, you know, I'm not going to mention any names, but I think we all know.
I think we all have examples of fallbacks and, you know, setbacks. So, yeah.
You know, even as a country, we're going to have setbacks. So
absolutely. Yeah. But I think the important thing is that even in the midst of, you know, those people who want to pull us back, or those people who want to push us back, we've got so many people, and I mean, just looking on here, like Valerie's like Keep Following Your Dreams, and all of these people watching and sending love.
And Amber.
Yes, I can't see them.
Yeah, got that Danielle Snyder. We got Amber Heller in. Hey guys, those are two of my party people from back in college. Some of my best friends and biggest supporters. And Lauren, there's Laureen. Yes.
This is great.
Thank you.
And Roxy Van Cartier, also a wonderful entertainer of a different type, but still wonderful. She's sending her love too. Look at that, everybody.
Yep.
Yeah. And see, and it just goes to show you, like, sometimes you don't even know, you know, who's watching, or in this case, who's listening, and who really needs to hear what's being said, or who needs to see somebody living their truest life, or just being kind, or being secure. And, you know, we all deal with insecurities. We all deal with fears. But at the end of the day, it's like we said last week, you know, one particular experience or happening in our life doesn't define us. We're defined by the whole collection and how we react to it in the end. You know, and I feel like a lot of times people want to pick one particular aspect of somebody else's life and try to define them by that. And I think if we're going to pick one thing to define them by, it's going to be how much they push forward and really find themselves, be themselves, and love themselves. And I think you're doing exactly that. So.
And persevere, you know, it's like Martin Luther King said, you know, he said it the best. He stepped outside the box and he pushed the envelope, and now there's a national holiday in his name, you know, like it's the people who make the most change are the ones that their legacy lives on, and they do the best work for our society. And I think I think that's what I want to do. You know, I want to share my story and my life and my music with the world, and, you know, help be that change as well. You know, Lady Gaga does it. You know, everyone, like Taylor Swift, you know, even the country singers down here, they're like, just be who you, do what you want, love who you love, you know, follow your arrow, you know. And I think the music industry is the most open-hearted and welcoming when it comes to the LGBTQ community. And I think that I'm in the right place, I'm in the right spot, and I feel like, hey, I don't see any other openly country alternative artists really mainstream right now. I don't. I mean, yeah, there's some awesome front guys and gals for some bands, but you know, I want to take it to the next level. I want to be bigger than that, and so I can be heard more by more people. And that's why I look up to Gaga. You know, she's just one in a million. She really is, and she pushes that envelope, and she says, "Yeah, man, let's change this world." You know, that's why I love those artists that do that.
That's awesome. Yep. Yeah. So, and I want to throw this out there. Katie just said, "I'm so glad I stumbled across your music, and I've thoroughly enjoyed hearing your story along the way." So, yeah. That's an example, and people say it to me all the time. So I'm like, man, I want my show to be bigger. I want more speaking gigs. I want, you know, more whatevers. And everybody is constantly reminding me that you don't have to change the world. You just have to impact one life. And and so while you are working towards your national holiday, while you are working towards your platinum albums, just remember that you're getting there, you know, impacting one life at a time. And everybody watching, and myself included, you know, we are proud to say that we're there along your journey too. So awesome. Yeah. So just
see Autumn's tuned in too. I see Autumn in there.
Yeah. Hi Autumn. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks Autumn.
And Daniel.
Brody Ray now holiday. Thanks Amber. Oh man.
And Lori says my grandpa still follows your story.
Shout out to Grandpa.
That's awesome. You know? See, grandpas love you too. You like everybody. So cool. Just like in the vein of people, you know, hearing your story and hearing your music, did you want to sing anything tonight? You don't have to.
Yeah. Okay. I pulled out my guitar. It's sitting here.
Sweet. All right. I was hoping so, and I was like, well, I don't want to like put you on the spot, but I mean, I figured if people are here watching and maybe they're listening while they're eating or whatever, we can give them a little bit of taste. And then once you have everything up and running, you can like tell everybody where they can get some more of your music. But for now, if you want to give us a little bit of a taste, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I sure will. I'm thinking that maybe I'll play the latest single that I released called "Take It Too Far." What do you guys think? Is that cool?
I'm gonna give you a thumbs up. I don't know who. All right. Well, Katie Martin in California is saying yes. Valerie saying yes. Kimberly saying yes. So that's yeses in my vote.
All right.
And mine counts for 5 because it's my show.
Yes, that's cool with me. I hope my camera doesn't fall over in the meantime.
If it does, we'll be okay. And while he's doing this, if anybody has any questions that you want to ask Brody while he's playing, go ahead and type them. And if not, do me a favor before he starts. Down on the bottom of your screen, there's a share button. Do me a favor and click that share button because all of your friends and family need to hear what Brody's about to sing. So make sure Katie and Amber and Skylar and the other Katie, all of y'all click that share button real quick.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So this song, Jason and I wrote this one not so long ago. We cut it down at Omni Sound Studios with Bill, and Bill's a big-time producer down here. He's got some big connections, and so I'm trying to get about 4 or 5 more, maybe 8, somewhere in there, the EP range, to kind of so he maybe later down the road he'll be able to pitch us to like a bigger label and get more, get some more supporters out there, but we'll see. If it's him, might not be him, might be somebody else. All right, this one's called "Take It Too Far." Crazy coming over me tonight. No, I shouldn't leave this bar. 'Cause every time that whiskey hits me right, I always take it too far. Blame it on the demons on her leaving, but tonight's gonna leave a scar. I wish I could hold back, but for some reason I always take it too far. 'Cause when I'm hurting, it's for certain, I start flirting with trouble I can't escape. An insane train with no brakes, in the dark where there's no one else. Who could ever stop me from this pain? I always take it away too far. I always take it too far. There's a pounding in my head from all the shots last night. There's a hole in my heart. There's a feeling in my gut. Without her, I might die. I always take it too far. 'Cause when I'm hurting, it's for certain, I start flirting with trouble I can't escape. An insane train with no brakes, in the dark where there's no one else. Who could ever stop me from this pain? I always take it away too far. I always take it too far. She leaves a trail of lonely tears down every road I go. A broken heart, broken bones is all I know. 'Cause when I'm hurting, it's for certain, I start flirting with trouble I can't escape. An insane train with no brakes, in the dark where there's no one else. Who could ever stop me from this pain? Oh no, I always take it away too far. I always take it too far.
You can only hear me clapping, but I'm sure people all across the country are cheering. If y'all like that, click like clap or type something in the comments so we can see you're clapping. Yeah. That was awesome. That was fantastic.
I hope it sounded okay. I don't know. I'll sing it too loud.
Well, I mean, we all know that the sound on this stuff isn't good, but regardless of how the sound quality is, the song sounded amazing. That was really great. Everybody's clapping. Good. Everybody's saying great.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Thanks, Valerie.
Oh, thanks for sharing that with us. So
yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that. Everybody's clapping. Miss Battenfield, cool. Katie, Valerie, the other Katie, the Kimberly, everybody. They all liked it. I liked it too. So, all right. So then where can we find more of that music? Just in general, if we listen to you, where can we find it?
Yeah, that song is actually up on iTunes for sale. And then you can pull out all my original stuff up on YouTube. I'm going to be dropping the Detour EP back on iTunes tonight. So if you want to buy it, download it to your iTunes, your music list. I'm going to drop that again tonight here in about like maybe 30 minutes.
Sweet.
And then you can get it on my website, where you can find all of my live shows. If you're local and you want to come to like the writers rounds, you can come to those. You can come to the Nashville Rising Song competitions. You can come to the festivals. I'm playing Lexington, Kentucky Pride Fest this year. And I got all of my shows posted on my website. And the website is brodyray.com. So just go there if you want to look up. The songs are on there. My merch is on there. I think we got shirts, koozies, CDs, guitar picks. We got a couple posters left. We're getting low because I'm trying to sell all this stuff so we can get some
because you're that good and people love you.
We're getting. I got tons of koozies left, and those aren't very expensive. So you guys get on there. You can buy those if you want. I'm trying to see if I can find one. Here, hold on. I got some over here. Now, They're on the website. You guys go on there. You can see them. The pictures are on there under the merch tab. We got just about anything you can think of. I think I ran out of the bigger posters, but there's like the sign. We can do a signed little sheets there. But the music's. I mean, all you gotta do is just type it in, Google it. It'll pop up. It's on Reverb Nation. It's on SoundCloud. It's on Spotify.
Awesome.
It's on Pandora. It's just everywhere. It really is.
Sweet. And so on top of merch and on top of videos, if anybody wanted to book you for any shows, are you open to talking about booking too?
Yeah, booking. I think
Great.
I should be on my website. There should be a tab under there where like you can contact for booking, either me or Taylor, and shoot me emails, shoot me private messages on my Facebook. You guys go and like the Brody Ray music page. That will help me out a lot too, because producers and publishers like to see your fan base, and they like to see how, you know, what you've done for yourself as an artist, building a fan base, getting people to like your songs and your music, and so that's really important here, especially here.
Yep.
So go over there, like that. You have a Facebook page, don't you?
I just use my personal page for basically everything. But,
Okay.
But after this, I am gonna for anybody who doesn't follow Brody yet, I'm gonna go ahead and just leave a comment like I always do. But I'll attach the music page so that way all of you can see that. Or if you want to do it, that's fine too. But somewhere in the comments below, there'll be a link over to the page so everybody can like and follow Brody and push him along to get where we know he needs to be.
Yeah, awesome. Hey, Beth, how are you? Good to hear from you. Yeah, that'd be awesome if you could do that. And also, everybody who's still on, getting on now, who might have missed the first part, I just kind of mentioned, you know, March 19th is the second round for the Nashville Rising Song Competition. So March 19th, mark it in your planners, 8 p.m. when the show starts. You know, it'll probably be the same length as it was last time. And we're just going to need all the votes that we can get that day. And also keep an eye out for the next season of America's Got Talent as well.
Yeah.
That's about all I can really say. That's all I can really say. But
I mean, it's a good show. Everybody should watch it.
Yeah.
and also, just as a little note, when Brody says 8 p.m., it's 8 p.m. Nashville time. So for the California viewers, plan accordingly. And for those of us on the East Coast, and even the people that are watching internationally right now, it's 8 p.m. according to Nashville time.
Yeah, definitely. And if you guys do go over and like the page or follow anything, I will be posting updates, and when the minute the voting lines open, I will be posting that as well.
Awesome.
So you guys get notifications too. So I try to be there. You guys help me out so much. I try to, give back what I can to you guys and tell you how awesome you guys are, and how much you really do mean to me, because I couldn't do this without your support. I literally cannot do it without your support. And because I'm going to need a little bit more, especially down here. So just keep up the good work that you guys do for me, and hopefully I can make you proud, more proud sooner than later.
That's it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but you knew I would anyway. But for you and everybody that's rooting for you, everybody that's cheering you on, I can't wait to see big things. So thanks for sharing your night with us. I know it was kind of like a tight squeeze, but I appreciate you making time in your busy, hectic schedule. And hopefully the next time that you're on.
That's what it's all about, then.
Yeah, absolutely. And next time that we see you on, who knows maybe what you'll be doing. So I'm really excited. And I always, as we wrap up, I always have something that I like to share at the end of every show. But I want to give you one last chance. If there was one thing that you wanted to tell people that are watching right now that you think people need to know moving forward in their journey of life, just in a quick couple of seconds, what's one thing that you'd like to share?
one thing that I think I would share, it's funny that you say that, because with all this going on right now, I actually made a note to myself, and this is what it's sitting right here in front of me. I don't know if you can see it or not. Is it backwards? It says be fearless. It says be fearless. And right now, I think, especially in our society, everybody's so like mean to each other, and we're so mean, and everybody's just ready to just tear you down to make themselves feel better. And that's what we do. We build people up just to tear them down. And I feel like we should take that negative energy and turn it around and make it a positive energy, and just be fearless, be courageous, inspire others, work hard, and be good to other people, because that all will come back to you.
Absolutely.
Be good to everyone around you. Yeah.
That's awesome. And it's crazy that
work your ass off.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks so much. The thing that I always say, and anybody who watches every week, they better learn it by heart in 2018. But it's just a little phrase, and it goes kind of something like this. It goes, from dreams to goals, and goals to reality. Because dreams are for those who are sleeping. But if you're alive and awake and watching the Jason Elliott Show and listening to Brody Racing, then that means that you're alive and awake enough to actually work towards those dreams. And that's called a goal. Goals are attainable. And it might take some time and it might take some work, but after a while, those goals are going to become your reality. Then I always say that your reality is yours and yours alone. So there's nobody else in this whole world that can make it for you. And more importantly, there's nobody that can stop you from making it for yourself. So dream big, work really hard, and then enjoy the reality that you've made for yourself. And then of course, come on back to the Jason Elliott Show and share it with us. Right. So that's what we'll do.
Right. And then just do what Tim McGraw and Faith Hill say. Just be humble and kind.
That's all there is to it. And we'll kind of wrap all that up and try to be the best people that we can be.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate it. If anybody wants to join in next week, it's the last show of the month. And the last show, I usually cook something, and I'll answer any question that people ask, and it's just a good hangout time. Next week, we're going a DIY project with old wine glasses. So if anybody is crafty, come on back. But in the meantime, thank you again for being here, and I hope everybody has a good night, a wonderful weekend, great week ahead, and I'll see you next week. And you have to give me a 5. That's one rule. If you're a guest on my show, you have to give me a there we go. Perfect. That'll work. All right. Thanks, Brody, for being here. Thanks, everybody else, and have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yep. All right. We'll see you on the big screen and on the Platinum Records.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you.
Good night.
See you guys. Thanks.